The stash, baby. We back at it again.
So we're going to dive into some of the NFL Week 2 games and see what y'all think. So the biggest surprise for me of the day was Cincinnati. They're 0-2. Joe Burrow's not looking like himself at all. I wonder if that calf injury is kind of re-aggravated. But the biggest upset team-wise, honestly, for me is probably the Seahawks and Lions, if I'm being real. I mean, Detroit was looking really good week 1 against the Chiefs. Um, so I did not think Seattle was going to hang in with them boys, but a good slate of games. Titans upsetting the Chargers.
That one was shocking.
Mhm,
It's kind of weird. Like I'm just looking at these scores. Scores. Like there's a couple games I was actually really shocked about. Um, like I told you when we picked these games, 49ers Rams. Watch out for that game. 30
mhm.
20 30 to 23. I thought that. I mean that was a pretty close game. We'll talk about the Giants when we do picks, guys, because I have a lot to say about the Giants this year. Commanders, I watched that game. That game was amazing, actually. That was kind of like a fire game. Russell Wilson hit a Hail Mary touchdown at the end, but then they couldn't get the 2 point conversion to send it to overtime. So that kind
Yeah,
of sucked. But like that was a cool moment.
I watched that live. The end of that game, it was
I did
crazy.
too. I was screaming. I was like, wow.
Like, what's the odds of that happening?
Hey, my Bucks move on to 2-0. Got a
Yeah,
really super tough game next week against Philly. I think we have about a 10% chance of winning. That's the best I can give us, a 10% chance. Uh
we'll
we've been
see.
we've been looking strong, but Philly's a different kind of breed. So, we'll see.
Oh yeah, they've been looking pretty good, but they're definitely beatable. I mean, this year they've got some weaknesses.
Your Dallas Cowboys that you picked for Super Bowl are making a strong case right now.
That's what I'm telling you, man.
The
They're
Jets
looking
had
pretty good.
the Jets defense had -1 points.
It's crazy.
That's a top 5 defense.
hmm Yeah, the Jets, they looked like a middle school team today against. I mean, it helps not having Aaron out there, but I mean, you can't control that. So you got to play with the people you've got. But yeah, if there's any teams that in the week 2 slate that people in the comments you think is the biggest upset of the week, let us know down below in the comments. So we'll dive into the segments of the day. Cam Hayward is out for 8 weeks with a groin injury in Pittsburgh. Is Pittsburgh in trouble? What do you think about that situation?
I think this is really bad for their defense, especially since T.J. Watt was out most of last season. I think that Cam Hayward's good. He was a Pro Bowl D lineman. He had 10 and a half sacks last season. I think this actually really hurts him because they're not be able to get T.J. Watt and him on the field at the same time. You're
hmm
separating. I mean, when you have two very dangerous weapons that you can have on defense, and missing one or the other sucks. But especially if you had both of them out, it'd really hinder their defense. So
For
I
sure.
think this is a big loss right now for Pittsburgh Steelers.
I mean, not only that, but he's a veteran in that locker room. He's been a captain, so they're going to miss that leadership on that field on the defensive side of the ball that they hang their hat on because the offense has not been looking great for Pittsburgh. Tomorrow night, Monday Night Football against the Browns, they'll maybe prove that they can improve from a subpar Week 1 performance, to say things lightly. Um, but I don't know. We'll see what's up in Pittsburgh, but right now it's not looking great.
No, it's
Uh,
not. It's definitely not looking great.
so, who is the most scary or dominant player in the NFL in your opinion?
So I like this take, JT. It made me really think about like all the positions and stuff. So I had to break it down by positions, and I based off of who do I think is just locked in right now as like their best at the position. And there's only
Mm,
one guy that I can just say like I mean he's just ahead of the best. That's Patty Mahomes. Patty Mahomes is the best QB in the league, and it's not even close. Like second place is there, but it's not close to first. You can make an
mm,
argument between 2 and 3 before you can make an argument for one. Patty Mahomes is the best QB in football, and he is by a lot. Like if you compare anyone else, any other position, it's just it's very close. Patty Mahomes is just light years ahead right now.
oh yeah. So for me, the most scary or most dominant player in the league, I couldn't decide between these two players. I've got one on the offensive side of the ball and one on the defensive side of the ball. Offensive side of the ball, it is Tyreek Hill, the cheetah himself, just purely for the fact of his speed. I mean, if you've got a corner lineup and press man, he's going to blaze past you every single time he lines up against you. So you've got to bracket him downfield with zone coverages. I mean, the defensive coordinator is losing sleep at night at the end of the day because Tyreek Hill's going to get his. You just got to double him. I mean, that's the best chance you've got, and yet he's still going to come down with some good catches. But for defense, I think this was a really hard selection, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with Micah Parsons for the Dallas Cowboys, just because this season he's continually gotten better each year. If you look at it statistically, not only statistically, but on the field pressures, I mean, he's just a pure wrecking ball on the field, and you can see how much in just 2 weeks he's been impacting that Dallas Cowboys defense. So I think this year he's going to cement himself as one of the best players in the NFL.
I like it. My defense I actually picked was I picked Surtain for
Mm,
my defense. I think he's the best corner in the league right now, and I think he's locked down. He locked down D Adams week one.
sure.
There's not a
He
lot of
did.
guys that can do that.
That is true. I mean, he is definitely very dominant, but he's a young rising player. Got a lot of talent, got a lot of production in front of him. So, which team has the best or the most electric quarterback and wide receiver duo?
Hmm. This one's tough. This one's definitely
Mm,
tough. Like when I'm thinking about like quarterback wide receiver duo, there's a lot of good ones. I think like I would normally say probably Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown.
mhm.
But like right now, with the split comparison on the targets, where him and Devontae Smith are having literally the same amount of targets in the last 16 games.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to go with Kelsey and Mahomes really because they've played together so long. They've got 2 rings together. Not many other people can say that.
Mhm.
I would say that it would be them because of the chemistry, how much they've accomplished. It's hard not to say them.
I mean, they've got a special connection that nobody hardly has in the league. I mean, that's built together over years together spent playing with each other. Travis Kelsey is dependable as it gets. He's hardly had any injuries besides the week one game that he missed, which clearly showed that Patty needed him um, because his receivers were letting him down. But that's a good selection. I like that a lot. Um, the best duo for me personally, just based off of this season alone, I think it is Tua and Tyreek Hill. Just the numbers putting up. I mean, Tua has been lighting it up, silencing the critics. Ryan Clark, he's eating his words right now, questioning his work ethic, questioning what he's been doing with his diet, questioning what he's been doing in the Dolphins facility. He's putting that to bed, man, because he's been producing some great numbers so far. I don't know if you remember, but like that sideline throw on the right side of the field he had that put it, I think Tyreek caught it. I mean, he couldn't in the end zone. He couldn't have put it any better. That was one of the best throws I've seen Tua throw in his career. So his ball placement, his IQ has gotten a lot better this year. In progression, I've seen a lot from him. But as of week two, I'm giving it to Tua and Tyreek. And I mean, they were honestly building a great connection last year, but they're cementing themselves, I feel like, as the top electric duo right now in the league. There's a couple other players, quarterback and receivers I could name. Jefferson and Kirk Cousins, AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts, Jamar and Joe Burrow. Those are all great options. But at the end of the day, I'm picking Tyreek and Tua for right now.
I like that pick. I like that a lot. I think that's solid. I think they work very well together, especially and like Miami's a dangerous team. If you cover Hill, you can do that, but it's going to leave Waddle open, and Waddle's going to take the
Yeah,
other one. And like I hate to tell people this, but like Waddle, like it's you can make an argument Waddle's top 5 in the league right now in wide receivers. So I mean, if you put him in there, you got two of the top 5 wide receivers in the league.
that's
I'm
true.
just
I mean,
saying.
yeah, he's very electric. They're both tremendous players. So you got to pick your poison at the end of the day.
I think they're the best offense in football right now. Like into week 2, I think they're the best offense. I think they're just so fast paced, so strong. I think I no, I like the pick.
I mean, let's see. So moving on. Have you heard of the Darren Waller news?
I've
The
heard
New
about it,
York
JT.
Giants have diagnosed Darren Waller with nerve damage in his legs. So that is why the hamstring issue has been popping up time after time, even with the Raiders. So it's a recurrent issue for the tight end for the New York Giants. Do you think this will prolong during the 2023 season, or do you think he'll have a good enough season to where he can prolong his health?
No, JT. I think that with this nerve injury, I don't think it's something that's new. I think it's something that just went undiscovered for like the entirety of his career. I think that's what's caused his injury proneness over the last couple of years. I think it's just going to continue. I think that it's his career is going to be shortened
Yeah.
due to this.
It's sad to see because nerve damage, that's a scary thing to say and talk about. Whenever you're talking nerve damage, that's a buildup over time. And Darren Waller, I believe, is like 6'6, 6'7, around that range of frame. So a bigger guy talking about nerve damage in his legs, that's pretty scary. So prayers up to him. Hopefully he'll have that resolved and or at least work to combat the nerve damage to help recover and help to strengthen up those tissues and ligaments around his legs to help him to have a great season in New York. But at the end of the day, that's probably gonna shorten his career, unfortunately. But
It probably is.
we'll move on to the next segment here. Which NFL do you think
Chicago,
is the closest
Chicago.
to rebuilding? So you're
Chi-
picking Chicago to
yeah,
rebuild if they don't have a
they're
good year?
fixing to blow this whole organization to whole. Like the way they look today. No, you had a pick six by a D end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, Shaq Barrett got a pick six, and then we got another pick down the field and to seal the game. It was Chicago does not look good. Chase Claypool with his tardiness, his laziness on the field, not like him giving up on plays so easily. No, it's Chicago. Chicago's about to blow it all together.
Mm. That's a
That
very interesting selection. I mean, they're trying to build around Justin Fields, but Fields, a lot of people have been buying into the hype that Justin Fields is going to break out. I've not bought into it. And he's yet to prove to me that he's the type of player that can lead your team and improve year after year. I feel like he's got to have all these weapons around him to succeed, but yet he is still the same player that they brought in year one. I haven't seen much development. Um, we'll see. Maybe he proves us wrong, but so far he's not looking great. But for my team that I pick that could possibly blow it up after either success or failure from this year, it's the Washington Commanders. So hear me out. They're on a 2-0 record right now. They have not had a 2-0 record since, I believe, it was either 2011 or 2013. This is the best start they've had in close to a decade. A lot of people have not had this team to make it far. So if they start winning a lot of games, that could put that narrative out the window. But it's a very competitive division, and if they underwhelm, if they fall apart again, you've got to think they're going to blow up some of that defense and start to put more pieces around Sam Howell. So I don't know, man. I think Washington, they've been mediocre and bad for so long. They've got to think about rebuilding. And if they don't have a good year this year, why not press it this year? Why not press the reset button this year? But another big question mark for me, I don't think this season, but next year or the year after next, the LA Chargers, I think, could press the rebuild season button after, like, not this year, but in 1 to 2 more years, if they continue to underperform, don't be surprised if they blow up everything in LA.
if I'm the owners of the Los Angeles Chargers, I would fire the head coach today. Now I would
Yeah.
fire him. I would fire him today to have your
Yeah.
offense or defense coordinator take over the position for the time being until you find a head coach to take over, or just have him for the rest
Mhm.
of the season and then find a head coach in the offseason.
Yeah,
No,
Brandon Staley's not been working out in LA.
the Chargers have not won a playoff game since 2018. That's 5 years ago. You haven't won a playoff game, and you guys finish second in the division every year to the Chiefs.
I mean, and given that playoff comeback up to Jacksonville is inexcusable. They
Mm-hmm.
should have won that game. Uh,
And then lose to
but
the
yeah,
Titans today. Like what?
exactly. But they were without Austin Eckler, but still, you've got to win that game. Um, so moving on to the next topic of the day. Do you think Josh Allen is forcing it too much in Buffalo? Do you think he's trying to do too much? I think so. Today he bounced back. Week 2, he had a good game today. Week one was a different story. So which Josh Allen do you think will be getting most of the year?
Okay. First off, Josh Allen played well against the Raiders defense. Raiders
Yeah,
defense is not great. He played the Jets defense the week before and Zach Wilson. He played a top 10. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to say top, like I won't say top 5. I'll just say top 10 for now because
hmm
there's a lot of speculation on like who's ranked where on the defensive side of the ball. I
yeah,
would but I would have them in the top 10. I think most people would. Josh Allen played against a top 10 defense and played like crap. He
yeah,
played the Raiders defense today. That's great. Congratulations. You played like an elite level quarterback, which is expected out of you
hmm
because you are an elite level quarterback. My biggest issue with Josh Allen is there is moments when Josh Allen is spectacular. It's one of the reasons a lot of people tend to watch him play. I love
yeah,
Josh Allen. He's my favorite quarterback to watch. That is not on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I want nothing but the best for him.
yeah,
But he has to quit forcing things. He has to learn to be a game manager. I
yeah.
think there's a lot of great QBs who are game managers.
hmm
Jimmy G is not a bad QB. He'll win you most games. He will manage it very closely. You're not going to win by a lot, but you will win. He's
hmm
been known for that.
That's true.
But
You,
Josh
yeah,
Allen also is 0 and 5 in overtime games, breaking Derek Carr's record. So and people are like, well, he can't play defense. That's right. He doesn't play defense. That's 100% fair. I agree with that. But in some of those games, people argued that he didn't get a chance to get the ball, and that those games, I feel you. If he had a chance to ball, maybe he could go down, score again. They go into like they keep driving. But Josh Allen had a chance with the ball, and
yeah,
they punted. They went 3 and out. He had a chance. He didn't win the game. Was there like a block in the back on? Yeah, calls are going to slip. Everybody knows this. This is
yeah.
nothing new. So he needs to learn to manage the ball, manage a game. Quit being so forceful, and he will be better.
I mean, that's what you're gonna get with Josh Allen at the end of the day. You're gonna get a guy that's gonna force some passes. You live or die by Josh Allen taking those risks, and more times than not, it pays off. But there's those outliers. There's those games a couple times a year where he throws multiple interceptions a game and it costs you. So he's got to limit those turnovers. If Buffalo wants a chance at a Super Bowl, he's gonna have to play turnover-free football. So I don't know if that's in him to do it, but we'll see. But moving on to the next topic, a little interesting for the fans and the subs. Which rapper would most likely to succeed in the NFL? Who do you think would be most likely?
I looked into this because I was kind of curious on like I didn't know who all what which rappers played. I
Mm,
know I've seen rappers play football in movies like in The Longest Yard. Nelly was the
yeah.
running back for the Mean Machine. But the one I found that like I guess made the most success was Schoolboy Q.
Oh,
He played college ball at West Los Angeles College.
oh wow.
No, so I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, hey, good for him.
Oh yeah. For me, I think it's pretty easy, honestly. It's Blueface Baby. He
Blueface
played
baby.
court. Yeah, yeah. So he played quarterback in high school, and he was actually being recruited by some colleges. He was really nice with it. I believe he played somewhere out in Cali, in a high school out in California, but um, I could be wrong on that. Someone double check me in the comments, but he was extremely talented. He was moving like Mike Vick on the field, man. He was crazy with it, but I would choose Blueface for my option on that. But
Okay.
switching it up here, which rapper would do the best on the NBA court?
Oh, this is
There's a
easy,
lot more.
man.
There's a lot more that hoop.
I mean, so this is like you're getting to some territory like that I know about here. With there are some rappers, there's some NBA players who rap.
Mm.
So like, I
No,
mean,
no,
if you
no,
want,
no, no. No NBA players, just rappers playing ball.
Okay, just rappers. Well, probably J. Cole. I'd probably go with J. Cole. I think J. Cole was. He had a tryout for the Pistons. They
Mm,
gave him a shot, and I think that was cool. And he even made their G League. G League.
that's a solid pick. I mean, Cole can hoop for sure. He's getting older. Um, I would probably go with either Chris Brown, he can hoop, or
Oh yeah.
Quavo or Chris Brown. Chris Brown's got some handles. Y'all look it up in the comments. Look up Chris Brown handles. That dude can hoop. I think overall I'm gonna go with Quavo. I think his bag's a little bit deeper. I think Quavo can hoop. He's a great basketball player.
Remind me after this. I will show you.
All right, we'll do. We'll do that. Let us know in the comments which rapper are you taking on the NFL field and the NBA court. So moving on to the last topic of the day. Which quarterback is better, Tua or Jared Goff? I'll
So
let you start off.
this has been a hot topic for me right now. Like I've seen a lot of people trying to do this comparison and
Hmm.
think about it. Um, both are very good QBs in my opinion. They play very different styles as
Oh
well.
yeah.
Two is a dual threat QB. He can throw the ball. He can throw the ball just as well as he can run. He's
Hmm.
fantastic. He's got two amazing weapons to throw to. But like I think he's a top QB in the league. He's probably a top 10, maybe a top 12 QB in the
Yeah.
league. He did have some neck injuries last year, like head injuries with the concussions, two confirmed,
CTE.
three, yeah, CTE, and that's the thing we have to worry about in this is like you have to really worry about that. So
Hmm.
that bothers me a lot. But I think they fixed the O line. He looks healthy. He's been working a lot on it. I think it's really good. Now, before I make my full one, I want to go into Jared Goff and like why I think Jared Goff's a good QB. A lot of people, you guys remember Jared Goff has something that a lot of QBs in this league don't have. He knows what it's like to be in the Super Bowl. He doesn't have a win, but he knows what it's like, the pressure
For
of it.
sure.
I think they have a very good line. I think that he's got St. Brown and Gibbs to throw to a lot. I think that's going to help him a lot in this year. He's
Yeah.
a pocket passer. He's not really a scrambler. He's very safe with the ball, but sometimes that is the issue I have with Jared Goff is he's too safe with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to just do a deep throw downfield on first down.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise the defense. That's one of my big issues with him. That's the only thing I really have an issue with. Besides that, he can definitely manage a game very well, and he can win you a lot of big games. Um, I'm gonna go with Tua for just
Ooh.
full ability and weapons too, because it's just how it is. He is a very good QB.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people sleep on him. I think it's very close. So in ranking, if someone told me they take Goff over Tua, I'm not that shocked. I just personally think it's Tua over Goff.
Mm. I mean, it's very close. And honestly, Goff is missing Jamison Williams, one of the receivers from Alabama, because he got caught for gambling. But um, yeah, Sam Laporta as well has been coming up huge for Jared Goff so far this season. So that's another good weapon he's got. But I think it's very close. Either way you look at it, there's no wrong answer, I feel like. But I mean, Tua so far is putting up better numbers. I mean, his progression each year has been getting better. But I'm gonna pick Jared Goff because I think Jared's Goff, I think his accuracy and his IQ, I think his accuracy and his IQ is better than Tua. I think that Tua has maybe a better arm, but Jared Goff, I feel like makes better decisions. And you got to think about this too. Tua has two top 10 receivers in the NFL, arguably the best receiver in the NFL. I won't say it yet. I think he's number two behind Jay Jettis. But if you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle on your team, that's going to help your chances out tremendously at the quarterback position. So I'm picking Jared Goff solely on the fact that I think his IQ, decision making, pocket presence, lack of weapons compared to Tua. That's my reasoning behind it. So I think Jared Goff, he's grown over the years since he left the Rams. Like you mentioned, this is a big point. He has Super Bowl experience over
Mm-hmm.
Tua. So that's also one of the reasons I think that will help him in the postseason. So I think whenever it comes down to crunch time, fourth quarter, you need to come back. I'm picking Jared Goff to remain poised under pressure over Tua. I think it's
Okay.
close though. Either way you go, you can look at it, but I think Jared Goff's slightly better.
Nice. I like that. So I got a little trivia for you here.
Okay.
So you get, of course, no phones or internet access or anything.
Yeah,
So I've got my question for you. Since 2000, which division has the most Super Bowls, NFC or AFC? And if you can guess it, can you tell me by how much you think it is by?
it's got to be AFC.
Okay,
I'm gonna say
it
okay.
is AFC.
I'm gonna say AFC in the margin. I'm gonna say 6.
6? It is not 6.
How much?
It is 3.
Really? Okay, that's 3
Yes,
off.
it's that close.
Dang. Okay,
That
pretty
that was the
cool.
trivia I had for you.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that.
Yeah. Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in. This wraps up the podcast for the day. Leave a like and a comment down below. Share it if you haven't already. Check out the TikTok handle. It is the same Thunder Sports Pod. So it's been JT, been a pleasure, and
And the stash, baby, we out. Peace.
see you guys.